GamerBraves!
Hello everyone, this is Sean and welcome to another episode of GamerBraves Review. This video will contain spoilers, so please watch at your own discretion. The game we're gonna review today is none other than Final Fantasy VII Remake, the game where everyone competes for Cloud's affection. You have the local florist Aerith, the bartender Tifa, the new contender Jessie, the dancer Andrea, and even Sephiroth himself. Before we get into the review, I just wanted to do a quick rundown of what we do here. We did a lot of game news and reviews back at our web portal, and now we will be creating more content on video. Final Fantasy VII Remake is a remake based on the original RPG Final Fantasy VII, which was released back in 1997. The remake will only feature events that happen in Midgar, features a new combat system, and additional cutscenes.
Nailed it, I know, thank you. Moving on.
The game will consist of 18 chapters, and the option to visit any chapter you like after finishing the game. Since you're up to speed, let's jump right into the review. Final Fantasy VII Remake is a very story-driven RPG. We'll start with the story first. I don't want to spoil too much of the game, so I'll keep things short here. The main story plot will be very similar to the original Final Fantasy VII, however, there will be additional cutscenes as well as more background stories for the other key characters. With the graphic upgrades along with the voiceovers, they are more accurate representation of a character emotions. And of course, revisiting popular key events like Cloud, Aerith, Tifa threatening Don Corneo, as well as watching Cloud dancing are some of the fun highlights. One thing that I enjoyed the most is the banter or conversations between the main cast during cutscenes.
Did the flower say anything?
Good work today, guys?
Next up, we'll move on to the battle gameplay. The new battle system is pretty awesome. The new ATB system has been revamped. ATB will slowly build up on its own, and we can speed it up with normal attacks. We will then spend the acquired ATBs on abilities, spells, items, and summons. Stagger is a newly introduced feature in this remake. Staggered enemies will take extra damage, and some abilities will deal bonus damage to staggered enemies. To stagger an enemy, we must first fill the stagger bar. It can be filled by attacking enemies. Some spells, abilities, or limit breaks will build up stagger faster. Sometimes enemies will fall into a pressured state and are vulnerable to attacks. In this state, taking damage will further increase the stagger bar. Every character has their own unique abilities. Cloud is the vanguard of the team. He can swap between Operator Mode and Punisher Mode. Operator Mode is faster and can block against most ranged attacks. Punisher Mode, however, moves very slowly, deals more damage, and can counter melee attacks. Most of Cloud's abilities are pretty straightforward on dealing damage. Barret can be a vanguard or a range attacker. His attacks range will change according to the weapons he used. Most of the time, he's your go-to character for flying enemies or for enemies who are out of melee range. As one of the ranged attackers in the game, his damage will be the most consistent compared to others. Tifa has the fastest attack speed and can generate ATB faster than anyone else. Her unique attack is tied to her ability Unbridled Strength. One charge of Unbridled Strength will upgrade her Whirling Uppercut to Omni Strike. The second charge of Unbridled Strength will then upgrade it to Rise and Fall. So far, Tifa has the most combos in the game and probably deals the highest damage. As for Aerith, she is a ranged attacker with high affinity for spells. Most of her abilities revolve around supporting spell casting or dealing ranged damage. Arcane Ward is one of the best abilities that Aerith provides, which lets anyone double cast spells as long as they are inside the ward without any additional cost of MPs or ATBs. Now let's talk about summons. Summons are one of the biggest highlights for the remake. The summons here work differently compared to the usual Final Fantasy series. Instead of a huge spell with over-dramatic animation, the summons here fights side by side with the summoner. There will be a time duration for the summon. The moment the timer runs out, the summon will strike with a signature move and leave the battlefield. We can spend characters ATB for the summon to use more powerful attacks. Picking when to summon is crucial. If the summoner faints when the timer is still running, the summon will strike and leave the battlefield instantly. Unlike the previous game, in this remake, we can only summon when facing strong foes. Now we're gonna talk about learning new abilities, weapon upgrades, and materials. Each weapons will have their own unique abilities. Once the character mastered them, it then can be used even when the weapons are not being equipped. When characters level up, they'll gain SPs for their weapons, and over here, you can have upgrades like increasing attack, increasing magic attack, increasing HP, increasing MP, and even unlocking new materia slots. Leveling up materias will also grant stronger spells. Although unlike the original game, mastering materias doesn't give you a new one. To me, Final Fantasy VII Remake is a well done remake that we need. The new battle system is very fun, and you can't just mash attacks and win the game. Most abilities or spells have a short charge up time, and it can be interrupted, which again bring more depth in the combat gameplay. All the cutscenes are very enjoyable, especially the complaints that Barret gives when he climbs the Shinra building. You also feel that Avalanche have a much bigger presence here in the game.
But tell me, are these stairs ever gonna end?
Remake also features a lot of post-story gameplay, where you'll be unlocking hard mode. This mode has increased difficulty, along with restriction of using items, and there will be more Coliseum battles available for players to challenge. This means that you'll be spending additional hours on the game even when you finish the main storyline. If you play the original game, in the remake, you'll be visiting a lot of cutscenes that will warm your heart. Fan or not a fan, Final Fantasy VII Remake is a must buy, and if you don't have a PS4, just go get one for the remake. The game is so gorgeous, and just screenshotting the game during any cutscenes will provide you with wallpaper-worthy photos. Here are some of the screenshots that we took. Playing as Cloud, you'll be able to enjoy a couple of girls longing for your affection.
I might be falling after all. Psych?
As well as smashing Shinra boxes wherever you go. One last thing I'd like to mention before I end the review, Cloud is definitely a better dancer than Squall. Well, that's the end of our video. If you like our content, please give us a like and subscribe to our channel. Once again, this is Sean from GamerBraves. See you guys next time.
Where could they be going? Embarking on an adventure to find some treasure?